I used to be a Citadel guard, till I took an arrow to the knee in the battle at
To be an
Helm's Deep.
adventurer like you. Then I took an arrow in the knee.
LEGO Lord of the Rings was one of my best childhood memories. While others were busy with Skyrim, I was busy exploring the LEGO version of Middle-earth. 7-year-old me could immerse myself in the world of Lord of the Rings, just like in the films. I could travel to all the different settlements, experience the massive battles, and slay the orcs as I embarked for Mordor. Booting up. Now, speaking of the orcs, let me tell you about this game's amazing introduction. As you boot up the game, you're welcomed by a scene of the Isengard Tower. As the camera pans and continues to delve deeper, you can see the orcs forging the logo of the developers of this game, Traveller's Tales. After that, depending on how far you have played, you'll get different title screens. For example, when first booting up the game, you'll get a remake of the starting speech from Fellowship of the Ring, but if you've played it already, you'll see a peaceful scene of the Shire. Although, after starting the last movie, you'll be greeted with this other very powerful intro. Faithfulness. Now, unlike many other video games that are retellings of movies, LEGO games are generally very good adaptations of the movie franchises. They not only retell the story, but add much of their unique charm that makes playing them a whole new experience. And this definitely applies to LEGO Lord of the Rings. The ability to freely explore the LEGO worlds was relatively new at the time, with LEGO Batman 2, which was released only a few months prior, being the first to implement this. Something else that was new with LEGO Batman 2 was the inclusion of voice acting, which in my opinion was vital for LEGO Lord of the Rings. Although, almost all the voices are ripped straight from the movies, which at times can sound a little weird, but it can be easily overlooked. Or overheard.
You're right, Gandalf. The ring must go to Frodo.
With this being a LEGO game made back in 2012, it's a surprisingly good rendition of Middle-earth as you can explore almost all of it, especially the most notable locations from the movies. There's plenty of things scattered around this version of Middle-earth, making it necessary to explore all around. Something else I find cool is the decision to change the iconic gold bricks into mithril bricks. Usually using anything other than the iconic gold bricks would be a negative, however in this game it just makes so much sense. Now you may be wondering why this makes so much sense. Well, if you didn't already know, mithril is a super rare and valuable material in the world of Middle-earth, so having these super rare gold bricks being replaced with this otherworldly rare material is such a good idea. Silly humour. The humour of these games is unmatched. No dark offensive humour, just raw childish humour. All the jokes in this game are so well thought out. They can turn a scene that is usually so tense into something that has that LEGO charm. A scene that seems to stick with me is this one. First I'll play the original, and then the LEGO. You can see how much they transform a dramatic scene into something so unique.
So it begins.
So it begins.
And then also this one.
The fortress is taken.
It is over. What can men do against such reckless hate?
Ride out with me. For Rohan.
I think something that makes these scenes so funny is just how ignorant the other characters are to what's going on. For example, with that scene with the pig, Boromir and Aragorn continue to have an intense conversation with all the crazy things that just happen beside them. Mithril items. Another thing that I find hilarious is the ability to forge the mithril bricks I had mentioned earlier into crazy and wacky mithril items. Although not all the items are wacky, there are definitely some crazy ones. One of these mithril items I remember so fondly was the disco file, which practically created a disco you could hold in your hands. Now, there were two very special things I remember about this file. One thing is that it had the ability to force any character to start dancing and continue until you put it away or left the area. And the other thing I remember was the absolute banger that played whenever you held it.
Take the gun! Release the river! Take the gun! Release the river!
Now, I believe this song might be a bit of an Easter egg about a very old video called Taking the Hobbits to Isengard that was made back in 2005. Which they are obviously both remixes using lines from the movies. The game was removed? On the 1st of January 2019, all digital sales of the game were halted, and the game wasn't added back to Steam until the 27th of April 2020. And eventually it was added to Xbox backwards compatibility on the 16th of November 2021. I'm not 100% sure why it was removed, but I'm pretty sure it was due to contracts running out with the Lord of the Rings franchise. I guess that's about it for this video. If you guys have made it this far in the video, try to include the word lizard in your comment, so I can see who truly made it to the end. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and as this is my first, subscribing and liking would help me out so much. I do truly recommend you play this game, and it's available to buy on Steam currently, but sadly can only be played on Xbox One and Series S and X with a disc. Hopefully I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.
By the moonlight, can't you see?